Hello friends, J-Dog here, bringing you another Dota 2 video on behalf of DotaAlchemy.com, which, by the way, DotaAlchemy.com is going to be updated with a bunch of 7.20 videos on how to just abuse all of the new heroes and new mechanics to gain a crapload of MMR. But in any case, there are certain heroes right now that are incredibly broken, not even remotely okay, and like I said, you know, there are a lot of things that you can abuse right now to gain a lot of MMR, and these heroes are certainly within that list of things. So, without further ado, what are the 5 most unbelievably broken heroes right now in 7.20? Number 5, Lich. So the first thing that I want to say before talking about Lich is that it's absolutely mind-blowing to me that this hero actually ended up as number 5 on my list, because when I first played this patch, I was convinced that Lich was one of the best heroes that has ever been in Dota in this current iteration of Lich. But there are actually heroes that are so broken in this patch that they're even better than Lich, who is incredibly broken based on these new abilities. But essentially, here's my argument for Lich. So number 1, I've seen a lot of people playing it. It's one of the most common heroes that people are grinding MMR with right now that I'm seeing in the top games. People think that it's broken. That's obviously a pretty decent argument that all the top players are playing it. But here's my argument for, like, mechanically why Lich is so goddamn strong right now. So the way that they change experience to work and gold to work is such that if you kill people in the laning phase, you get so much more. So many lanes in this patch I've seen where I will die 1 or 2 times. I come back and the guy that I'm laning against is level 7 and I'm level 4. And it's like, what the hell? In the previous patch, you would do that and you would actually come back and be better off because you'd have more regen, and then the person that you're laning against, they get almost nothing for killing you. Kills do matter right now, and that is why I've seen a lot of arguments on YouTube and on Twitter that, oh, Lich needs the sacrifice. He sits in the lane, he stalls the lane, brings it back to the tower, plays defensive, uses that mana to slowly but surely win the lane. Laning is not about slowly but surely anymore. It is about decimating your opponents and about fighting. If laning was about slowly but surely winning the lane, old Lich might be better, but this Lich is insane for how this meta is shaping up. So essentially we have this Frost Shield instead of Ice Armor, which puts a damage reduction around your ally. It also pulsates out for damage and slow. So if we look at the math on this, at level 1, 20 damage over 6 seconds, pulsating once per second, 120 damage at level 1. That is absolutely insane for a level 1 ability, and it is way too much. It also does 60% damage reduction at max level, and 60% damage reduction is what Centaur ulti did with Ags before it was nerfed, because everybody was complaining that that is way too much raw damage reduction, just based on how the damage reduction math works with all of the other reduction mechanics in the game, like armor and magic resist and stuff like that. So this is physical damage reduction, so it's not quite as good as the Centaur Ags, but it's still incredibly broken, and it's at that number, 60%, which was before the Centaur ulti got nerfed. And this is not armor. This is raw damage reduction, which is insane. So we have another ability instead of Sacrifice called Sinister Gaze, and I'm seeing a lot of people using this really effectively in the late game to do, like, ridiculous combos. Like, they'll pull people into, like, Crystal Maiden ulti, things like that. And essentially what it does is it stuns your opponent. It fears them, but it pulls them towards you, so it's more of a stun, because a lot of these other fear mechanics put you towards the base, so they run away, but it makes people run towards Lich, and this is for 2.5 seconds at max level, which you would think maybe that's not that good, but the fact that Lich can walk up, use Frost Blast on somebody, Frost Shield, Sinister Gaze them in, and ulti like a creep wave while this Chain Frost is bouncing around. I have seen Lich do so much work where previous Lich would do absolutely nothing. Like, this hero having a TP cancel in this spell and basically a stun in this spell is insane. I remember back in the day, this hero got nerfed because he was able to cancel TPs. People were just like, this hero does too much to be able to cancel TPs. Lich shouldn't be able to cancel TPs because he works like no other support does with these, like, harass abilities, and the fact that he could sacrifice and put Frost Armor. Like, Lich was a non-stunning support that was still picked. That speaks a lot because every other support has some sort of control. And now Lich does what he did, except he has control. Number 4, Luna. So what they changed about this hero is actually very, very simple. Essentially what they did is they made it so Lunar Blessing, instead of giving raw damage to people, it gives whatever your primary attribute is. So if you're a Luna and you're walking around a Sand King, let's say, that Sand King is going to get 26 extra strength. If you're a Luna and you're walking around a Juggernaut, that Juggernaut is going to get 26 extra agility. And the reason that this is so broken is because primary attributes give you so much more than raw damage does. So obviously this gives you the damage, but if you're a strength hero, you get the health. If you are an agi hero, you get the attack speed, you get the movement speed. If you're an int hero, you get the magic amplification, you get the mana regen, you get the mana, you get the damage. Like, you get so much from this Lunar Blessing aura. And then also something that was changed in regards to the Lunar Blessing is that also the aura range in Dota was changed. Like, the standard aura range was changed from 900 to 1200. So as you can see with the little green ring around Luna, it's a lot more. It's very, very huge. So basically, if you have a Luna on your team, you can have 26 extra of your primary attribute. And if we look at the talents, Luna has at level 15 plus 14. So you're actually going to be getting 40 extra of an attribute. And that is absolutely insane when you consider it. Because, like, let's look at Heart of Trask. Right? Highest strength item in the game. Luna, if you're around a Luna, you basically get a heart worth of strength as a strength core. You get a, let's see, what is butterfly? You get a butterfly, more than a butterfly, worth of agility if you're an agi core. That is insane that this hero is just a walking free item for these other heroes. And that is just based on the fact that these primary attributes do a lot. The build that I'm seeing a lot of people do on Luna is that they are going for power treads into a bunch of Wraith Bands, and then Mask of Madness for farming, and then Dragonlance. And then they will just go for, like, the typical, you know, butterfly, stuff like that. And the reason that you go for all of these, like, little small items is because what people are doing is they're abusing the fact that this Lunar Blessing is so strong and using Luna as this, like, early game pusher. So they're pushing with this hero and grouping up because you're giving your team so much goddamn stats and damage. And then you can also kind of fall back and farm, and the hero is going to be very, very strong in the late game, which, by the way, Luna, Sven, these heroes that like to cleave through the jungle, they have also been buffed massively by the fact that jungle now very literally gives more gold. And I think that the place that carries like to farm, which is, you know, these areas, like you have the Tri-Camp here with the Ancients, this Tri-Camp here, these are all on the high ground now, which means any hero that's going to sit and chill in the jungle is going to be very, very safe. As we can see, this camp used to be on the low ground. Number 3, Slark. Slark is an insane hero right now, mainly because of 2 reasons. So reason number 1, his essence shift now, for some reason, steals a permanent 1 agility if you kill somebody while they're under the effect of essence shift. And considering that essence shift lasts for 15 seconds at level 1, people are always under the effect of essence shift if they are dying near you. So basically this hero, anytime you get a kill, which by the way is always, you are going to get a shitload of free agility, just like Silencer gets a shitload of free intellect by just existing. Slark gets agility just by existing. Except, unlike Silencer, Slark is actually an absolute menace in the late game. Like, he can solo carry a game. Silencer, no matter how much int you get, it's kind of like he's still always that support Silencer that can be killed. Slark is not like that. You steal agility, you get movement speed, you get attack speed, you get armor, and the hero has all of this, like, carry potential in all of his other spells. Obviously, Slark is one of the best late game carries in the game. He just hasn't seen the light of day because his skills have sucked in the current, or in the more recent patches. But now, this is insane. Like, anytime he gets a kill, he's really strong. The only thing that kind of sucks about Slark is the fact that his laning is weak, but I think that this change, as well as another change that I want to talk about, makes up for the fact that his laning is relatively weak. And of course, you can just pick him with like a Lich or something, some insanely strong laner. There's a lot of these supports now, like Grimstroke Lich. They'll just win any lane, even though the laner that they're with might not be great. So the essence shift is insane. And now Pounce applies a leash mechanic, and this is a new mechanic that has been added to Dota, where you can't teleport, you can't use any like movement abilities or anything like that when you're leashed. Like, you can't even phase shift. Like, you can jump a puck on Slark, and puck puck can't get away from you. It's incredibly stupid. So now Slark has even more kill potential on you because the leash that comes from Pounce. There's a third reason that I think Slark is incredibly broken in this patch and why we see a lot of people picking Slark, and why if you go to Dota buff, Slark has like a 60-something% win rate, second or third highest win rate in Dota right now, and jumped by like 10%. And that's because I think the way that the experience and gold mechanics work now is such that if you get a solo kill, you get a shitload of experience and gold. I was witnessing people get like 800 gold for solo kills on like just random heroes as like a support. Like a support would survive a fight, pick a guy off at the end of the fight, boom, Glimmer Cape, something like that. And obviously Slark is a hero who runs around the map basically exclusively solo killing people. So not only are you going to be getting more gold and experience for that, you're going to be stealing goddamn agility from people permanently. And of course, if you can steal agility from an Agi carry, I mean, that just makes his life so goddamn hard because he's literally losing damage for the rest of the game. That is not okay. So yeah, you want to gain some free MMR, Slark is definitely the hero for you if you're a carry player. Alright guys, I'm breaking the format for this one. I know I usually say a number, and then I say the hero name, and then I list why the hero is good or whatever. It doesn't matter, because I just recently played a game, and look at that. I just told you how broken Slark is, and I genuinely believe that. I think Slark is one of the best heroes in Dota. I got a rampage on this hero. A goddamn rampage. I was like 1v5, and I got a rampage, because this hero is insane. Let's go ahead and check out this game. So I was having a great time running around, killing everybody. This guy doing nothing, just, you know, hitting jungle creeps, whacking creeps mid. I didn't care about him. And all of a sudden, boom, he comes online. I realize there's a Naga in the game. He's getting ultra kills and killing everybody. And I'm like, that's fine, man. I have like 30 Agi stolen permanently, by the way. I have like 60 stacks of Essence Shift. There was actually a point in the game where I could not man-fight a Naga Siren because the illusions do so much damage now, even with 60 Essence Shift stacks and 30 stolen. 90 total Essence Shift stacks. I could not fight the Naga with her illusions. They do too much damage, even though I had 60 armor. Oh, it hurts to remember. So let's check out this replay. Let's talk a little bit about Naga. This isn't just like a personal thing for me where I'm pissed that I lost this pub. I have looked at a lot of people's profiles that I know are Naga players, like top players that would play it. I see that they're going like 22-1 with it. The hero is absolutely insane for sure. Like people are spamming it. It's not just a me thing, but this is just a game where, you know, I really saw how effective it was. So look at this, 46 to 27, all right? Totally fine. 51 stacks of Essence Shift. How on earth could you possibly lose this game? Watch the damage he does. Watch the damage. How is that even remotely okay? How is that even remotely okay? I'm so sorry for screaming into this mic, but how is it even remotely okay that he does so much damage to me? Let me tell you how he does it. He does it with this Riptide ability, 8 armor reduction, 17% chance on every hit, so he's just constantly Riptiding, by the way, on all of the illusions, and then for some reason, this mirror image does 50% damage per illusion. So if you press mirror image on Naga Siren, you get 200% more damage, and that's 204 times 3, so you have 600 damage on Naga Siren. You're basically a hero with a rapier with very regular, normal, not high net worth items. And by the way, the only reason that I killed this guy here was out of like sheer luck. There is you know, very little chance that I kill him there fighting with those illusions, but I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna see if I can kill him, and I managed to. But I mean, I have 72 stacks of Essence Shift in 24 permanent Essence, and I'm super farmed and just got a rampage, you know. So I thought, well, let me just try to fight him with all of these things in the situation just to see if I can. I got very lucky and I could, but let me tell you, I lost this game, and it was just exclusively because of the Naga Siren. And I know I said he's not high net worth, but he kind of is, but that's because Naga farms really quickly without a Radiance now. It's another reason this hero is absolutely insane. She just did nothing all game, and then all of a sudden, she's such a problem. We couldn't even kill her with like Echo Slime. It did nothing. But in any case, if you're a good Naga player, I can guarantee you that this one will get nerfed ASAP, so pick this hero for some free MMR. Alright, so hero number 1, and this, in my opinion, is the absolute best hero in all of Dota right now. Guaranteed to get nerfed hero, and insta-ban. It should be an insta-ban in every single game, and that is Meepo. This hero has a 68% win rate on Dota buff. I have never seen a hero this close to 70% win rate. I remember people on Reddit bitching when Meepo's win rate finally went over 50% because, you know, the logic is, how could a hero that's so hard to play, notoriously the hardest hero in Dota, have an over 50% win rate? Because you know so many people are picking this hero and feeding with it or randoming it and then feeding with it because it's hard to play. Like, nobody can play it, right? But the thing is, when it went over 50%, it's kind of like, okay, it's probably so good that it's probably sitting at a 70% win rate for those people that actually play it. Now Meepo has a total of a 70% win rate, and that's including the people that probably random. Look at this damage in this replay. Look how much this hero does. Okay, so here's the problem. Here's why Meepo is so strong right now. As I mentioned before, Meepo went over a 50% win rate when these talents got added. They changed it so that he got attributes to all of his meat bets when he got stat items without an item scepter. That was when he got really, really strong. And then also these talents were added. So you have the 15 damage, which goes to all the meat bets. At level 15, you have 10% lifesteal, which allows you to solo Roche, 15% evasion, which actually allows Meepo to have evasion because you can't build a butterfly Meepo. It doesn't affect all the Meepo, so you actually get evasion on this hero and 600 health. So all of these talents are really, really good. The thing is, Meepo still was sitting above a 50% win rate, which is still really good because, like I said, people feed on this hero. But now he is at a 68% win rate, and it is almost exclusively because of this ransack ability that was added to Meepo. So you might think, Jenkins, where's Geostrike at? Geostrike, it's slowed. It was really great for keeping people locked down while Meepo beats the crap out of them with all the meat bets. But the thing is, if we look at the Earthbind, duration, 2 seconds. 8 seconds is the cooldown. You have 4 Meepos, so that's permanent root with the Earthbind. You really don't need the slow that comes from the Geostrike, especially when you're comparing it to what Ransack does. Ransack does pure damage, and it steals health from your opponents and from creeps. I've seen so many team fights where a Meepo is at 10% HP. He just mans up and fights, and you use everything on him, and he just kills you, and you don't kill him because he's stealing so much with this Ransack because it's pure damage. Straight up, this ability is just too high right now in terms of how much it steals. I don't even think you need to be good at Meepo to win with Meepo. Look at this guy, just manning up. Absolutely manning up. Like, there's nothing that we can do to him. Despite all of our heroes beating the living crap out of him, he's still manning up and fighting us with this Ransack ability. It's like he's immortal. What can we do? And also, one thing that I should mention, as he finally dies, is that the jungle being buffed such that it is now much safer to jungle, like I mentioned with the Luna. The high grounds really help the Meepo, because Meepo likes to just run into the jungle for like 10-15 minutes, come out huge and just destroy everybody. Like, the jungles really, really help him. And the fact that the jungle gives more gold as well obviously helps Meepo, because he wants to jungle for a bit and then come out and destroy everybody once he has some items. But in any case, if you're looking to win a lot of MMR, Meepo is the best hero for it right now, even if you have to very quickly learn it over like 1 to 2 days. This hero is so strong that it is without a doubt going to get completely hard nerfed in the next couple of days.